I was 37 when our first son was born. My wife and I had been together for 7 years and married just over a year when she first got pregnant. It was around week 33 when things started to go wrong. They discovered protein in my wife's urine and she was diagnosed with preeclampsia. Preeclampsia had developed into HELLP syndrome. It only affects a very small percentage of mums-to-be, but it can be fatal. Simply put, our baby had to be delivered by C-section under general anaesthetic. Before we knew it, my wife was taken to theatre and we had about 5 minutes together before surgery. The next 40 minutes etched in my brain as the most traumatic experience of my life. Standing in the hospital corridor, eyes fixed on the entrance of the theatre, waiting for what was an eternity, until what was relative calm turned into silent chaos. Nurses and consultants rushing to and from a theatre, and seconds later nurses tore through the corridor with a resuscitation unit. Then I saw a familiar face, a consultant we'd seen on one of our visits. She sat on the floor and put her arm around me and reassured me everything was going to be okay. That consultant gave me hope at my lowest ebb. Eventually the doors opened and out came our son in his incubator. As soon as I saw him, all my worries disappeared. His first skin to skin should have been with my wife, but it was me and him. That first bonding experience was the foundation for our relationship, and everything should have been golden from there, but it wasn't. Everything was a challenge, especially when it came to the crying, the constant relentless crying. He had reflux, intolerances, constipation, almost everything caused him to cry a lot. No matter how we tried to comfort him, no matter how many tricks and hacks we tried, it was relentless. The screams tear into your soul and you're helpless. I felt like a husk and I really did begin to hate him. I loved him and hated him. And when I did share I was feeling with my wife, how I hated our own son, how I couldn't bond, the sheer disappointment in her face, she couldn't comprehend I could feel that way. I've been on antidepressants ever since. They help, but there are things that still haven't healed between my wife and I. My son, though, we're all good now. Do we need support? Yes. Do we need to be better for each other and our son? Absolutely. It wasn't like we didn't seek support, but the support needs to be readily available and accessible to everyone. What made the cry more difficult was the way in which we lived with it. This attitude that all babies cry is unhealthy. Even when the crying was so relentless, even when it felt like there was no support, even when I was riddled with this self-propelled shame, the thing that could have helped was just an honest conversation. In my experience, regardless of the amount of people that say you need to open and talk, when you eventually do, very few people are prepared to hear you, and it's vital to find the right person to talk to.